scoring the goal in '86 was a very difficult time in my sports life. If you really look at it and say, okay, sports is sports and things like that happen, and you can't allow something like that to define you as a person or as an athlete. What it did was, people that know me now know the humility that I have and the way that I cheer for people. And it's a very difficult thing to do when you're playing sports, is hope the other team has their best night and you have a better night. That's the way I think of sports now. You never want to see anyone ever have to go through the situation that I went through, so I cheer for everyone every single night, and I hope to hell that I'm better that any given night that I play against them.
I think it's 3 or 4 minutes in, so we had lots of time to come back. It just, at that time, just wasn't our turn. We may have had a beer or two afterwards. I mean, that's just one of the unfortunate breaks of hockey.
You know, the metamorphosis of a loss isn't certainly one play, and I really, strongly believe that. We weren't the same team. We didn't play at the same level of compete in that series that we had in previous series, and we learned a good lesson.
You know, it was like Bill Buckner's ball going through Bill Buckner's legs, or the Red Sox and the Mets, probably. We're all watching the game, and all of a sudden the puck's in the Oilers net, and we're all thinking, what happened there? You know, at the time you're looking down, you're writing stuff down, and then all of a sudden the puck's in the net. I thought to myself at the time, this isn't a good thing. Even though there was a lot of minutes left to go in the game, the Oilers had not played as well in that series against Calgary as they should have.
Do we have to bring that up? I just couldn't believe it. Because if, think about it, if we had won that series and maybe possibly another cup, there's 5 in a row right there. It was crushing.
He was emerging as an NHL player that year, and for one fleeting second, it kind of destroyed a great season that he put together. And in this instance, he chose to transition quickly out from behind the net, and Grant just hadn't recovered in.
There's going to be ups and downs, and that just happened to be a down, and if anything, it refocused us. Nothing you can do about it. Go out and win the next year.
And Steve Smith, after the game, was there talking, and I can remember several players saying, you don't have to talk, you don't have to talk. Just go, go in the back room. You don't have to talk to these guys. And they were trying to protect Steve, but Steve, to his enduring credit, was there to face the music and answered questions over and over and over again. And he became, to be honest, a bit of a folk hero in the country.
The guy coming around the net, and I was just trying to make a quick break out of the end, and it was a human error, and I guess I just got to live by it.
It's considered one of the greatest, sports gaffes of all time. But I'm in a redemption. And I remember the Oilers coming back and winning that cup in 1987.
I can remember the '87 Stanley Cup final against Philadelphia, because I was really just getting going into television when Hextall and Fuhr going out at opposite ends of the rink. And Hextall, I'll recall, won the Conn Smythe Trophy. Edmonton won the game. And another Stanley Cup. I remember that one.
2:35 left in the third. One goal. That's all that separates these two. Anderson and Messier again. Anderson scores! Win the Stanley Cup '87.
The moment where, the Oilers passed the cup right away to Steve Smith. And he had one of the worst things ever in a player's history happen to him. And it defines what a winner's about.
And in particular to Wayne to, look to Steve to be the first guy to hoist the cup, just spoke to, the way everybody felt about everybody on the team.
The way Slats brought us up as a bunch of young guys, knowing that you had to be together every day, you had to almost be like family, and I think that was one of the biggest things, was we were together as a family. We knew that we had to play for each other if we wanted to be successful, even knowing the players that we had, and we went out and worked hard for each other, and were able to accomplish a lot.
That's the kind of leader Wayne was. He wanted to spread it around, and he knew how bad Steve felt after that happened the year before. I think he just wanted to give Steve the opportunity, to redeem himself. And of course he did. I mean, it wasn't his fault. It happens in the game. Things happen. Sports.
I look back at it And I think about two things. I think number one, how special was that from the middle of that pile, Wayne Gretzky turned and gave me the cup, and I was able to turn and show it to my father, which was really cool for me. The second part of that was during the game, which was really a memorable game. I can still remember very distinctly being on the ice, told that I was going to play forward on the power play. Never played forward one shift during the course of the season. Here I am in the Stanley Cup Finals. I remember very clearly Wayne Gretzky about to take the face-off, looking over, seeing me in front of the net like a rabid dog, all excited. And I remember he came over. I'm thinking he's going to give me advice, and all he said was, "Don't take a penalty, kid. Don't take a penalty." He could tell how intense I was. So that was my memory of that night.
And here it is, Wayne, my boy.
And you know the Stanley Cup weighs 30.5 pounds. It's 34.5 inches high.
Look at this picture. Steve Smith, a year ago, I don't have to remind you of what happened in the 7th game against Calgary, gets a chance to raise it.
There's probably been hundreds of guys that have asked to describe that feeling, and it's just indescribable. It's definitely the biggest thrill in my life, and you know, I can't say enough about how I feel right now.
Bruins in. Ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast, the 1988 Stanley Cup champions, the Edmonton Oilers, have won it again.
The team still had a lot of the big names: Gretzky, Messier, Curry, Lowe, and so it was a real learning experience for me to come into that setting. It was just amazing to be part of the run all the way to the Cup that year in '88.
I think that was our best team that I've played for or on. And it just seemed that we had everything working. We finally figured it out. Took us, 8, 9, 10 years to figure out the game, the system, the league. We knew we were going to win. And Gretz pulling the guys together and throwing the cup on the ice, I think like a lot of the things our team did, we changed the game.
Wayne Gretzky has taken the cup, and he's put it down at the Oilers emblem there, just outside that blue line.
I don't know where the idea came from, maybe from some other sport or something. I don't know where, but he organized that whole thing. That started with Wayne Gretzky and the Oilers in 1988.
The idea of it is that to win a championship, it's a collaboration of a lot of different people, not only on the ice but off the ice as well. And recognizing the contributions from everybody was the genesis behind that. And Wayne, nobody did that better than Wayne. Nobody made everybody feel more accountable and important than Wayne did, and that was part of his genius as a captain.
For the moment, Gretz was always kind of one step ahead of everybody, and I never heard him talking anything about it. And then all of a sudden, after we had done carrying the cup around, he was just gathering all the players and the coaches and the management and things like that, and gathering them at center ice, and it was a pretty unique photo and something I'm very proud of.
After we won, we celebrated and like, yeah, that's a good idea. Where I think Gretz had it all planned out. He probably knew what was going on a lot sooner than a lot of us did, but now you've got every other team doing it.
Oh, nobody knew at the time. I suspect that Wayne knew, but when he was calling everybody to the ice, I thought it was brilliant. I suspect that probably part of it was he was anticipating that might be his last time with everybody, and thought it'd be a cool picture.
Incredible when you look back on it now and you see all these teams that have been in that same picture to look back and reference the fact that we were the first to do it. I'm not certain how it came together. All of a sudden we were just told, guys, get to the middle of the ice, we're in a picture, and let's do it.
This is indeed a first. The Oilers organization has done a tremendous job with security here.
As athletes, security kind of changed, and they made sure as things were winding down that the security was set up around the glass so they wouldn't have that pandemonium.
When you see the picture and you see the elation in the guy's eyes, what a special picture. It's one of the ones that I do keep on my wall still to this day.
And I also remember Ray Whitney squeezing into the corner, the stick boy, squeezing into the corner of the picture. And then to this day, every time I see Ray, he says, you know that, you make sure you saw me in the corner of that picture, didn't you? You know, I didn't have anything to do with this victory, but I was in that picture.
It turned out to be probably one of the highlights of every team that wins. They can't wait.
You know, the idea that Gretz came up with everybody to sit at center ice with the cup it was just an amazing experience, you know. To be part of the first group that did that, it's something I'll never forget.
And there were great times in that Coliseum in Edmonton. The City of Champions surely was the City of Champions.
Coming up next in part 4 of Farewell Rexall Place.
Mironov is back to the line. Back to score! Wait! Finally gets one away!
People left the building. They were gone, and it was late in the third period. Mike Greer scores a tip-in from the shot from the point.
Here's a pass to the line. Score! They have tied the game!
And it's 3-3, and people are turning around on Wayne Gretzky drive in the middle of right in the middle of the road.
Kicked his leg like he was riding a Harley, and all of a sudden shot, and it went 5-hole.
Probably shouldn't have had a goal, if you really want to think about it. The guys from Dallas, they'll always tell me, no, it didn't count, but in our eyes, we did.
It's dropped back from Bookberger.